Hey guys, this is Brent with Western Equipment, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install a home maintenance kit on the John Deere E160. So let's get started. Before we get started, let's go over a few of the items that are going to come within your home maintenance kit and also some of the tools that you're going to need to perform this service. So first and foremost, you're going to have your easy change oil system here, guys. This is going to be a preloaded large oil filter that comes on select E-Series tractors. So the E160 does have this system here. So this is a preloaded filter with 10W30 oil in it. Makes this the 30-second oil change system, which we'll go over more in just a minute. We're also going to have our air filter, fuel filter, and spark plugs. Now, some of the tools that you're going to need to perform this service is going to be that 3/8 ratchet and 5/8 spark plug socket. Now remember, this is a 5/8 socket that has rubber on the inside to hold those spark plugs snug. Very nice tool to have. You're also going to want a pair of pliers when removing the fuel filter and reinstalling. Also right here I've got a small set of vice grips. This is going to be very helpful in pinching that fuel hose just to help avoid some of that spillage when changing that filter. And then we also have our spark plug gap gauge, and I will show you how to use this more when we do go to change those spark plugs. Also, guys, make sure to get out some sort of rags or shop towels, as you may have a little bit of mess when changing the fuel filter. And then also break out that operator manual so you can go through these step-by-step instructions just so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So let's go ahead and start by changing our easy change oil filter system. Step one is going to be changing our oil and oil filter, and that's all done right here at the easy change oil filter system. It is literally a 30-second oil change system. Very simple, very easy, guys. Great homeowner feature. You don't need any tools. This is all done by hand. Before doing this, one thing I would do on your E160 is take off this covering here, as it is held on by one bolt. It just covers these engine components, covers your filters. So go ahead and take that off, get that out of your way. It's one simple bolt right here. And once you have that out of your way, everything's exposed and easy to get to. So now removing this filter, like I said, all done by hand. You'll notice here we have a lock emblem and another lock emblem there down on the housing. Then we have an arrow going to our unlock emblem here. So all we're going to do is twist here by hand. It's going to unlock the filter, or we can take it off just like that. And as you see, guys, we have our oil there on the end of the filter. Also have our oil there in the housing. And you can see here on the filter where we have these fins here that are going to line up with the fins on the housing. And this is going to be the locking mechanism to holding this filter on. So now all we have to do to change our oil and filter is take our new easy change oil system, take the cap off, line up our lock to our unlock position, set it on, and go ahead and twist that onto the lock position. And that's all it takes, guys. Literally a 30-second oil change system. As keep in mind, all of the engine oil that you need to change is in this filter in the old one, and then the new oil that's going to go in is in your new filter, and that is going to be all it takes to change the oil on this machine. So let's go to step two and go ahead and change our fuel filter here. Step two, changing the fuel filter. This is always the most fun, as you are going to have a little bit of a mess with the fuel that's in this filter, but it's a very simple procedure. The only things you have to do here is you have two clips that you have to move and get out of the way, which is where your pliers are going to come in handy. Just go ahead and back those down the hose a little ways and up the hose on this end, just to make sure to get them off of the nipples of that filter there. Next, I was talking about this pair of vice grips here, guys. I would go ahead and break these out and use these to pinch this back hose, as this is going to be your fuel side. And so you want to pinch that off. That way you're not getting any of that fuel flowing to the filter while you're making this change, just to help avoid some of that spillage. So go ahead and clip that on. Make sure you get it tight enough that it is pinching the hose all the way. Just don't make sure that you don't damage your hose there. So once you've done that, guys, this is just the part where we take the filter, we wiggle it, twist it, turn it to get it off of the fuel hose here. This is also where you're going to want to have those paper towels underneath, or shop towels. You are going to have that spillage, as we can see there. and then go ahead and take it off of the other side. And then from here, we're just going to take our new filter. Now keep in mind when going on with this new filter, you do have an arrow here that is showing you the direction of fuel flow. So you want to make sure the bottom of the arrow is going back towards your tank side, as that's where the fuel is going to come first, and then go to the engine on the other side. So we're going to make sure and go engine side to the top here and run that all the way up to where the hose is touching the top of that fuel filter, and take our fuel tank side and do the same thing, run it all the way up to the bottom. Now we can unpinch our hose and then reinstall our clamps. Just run those all the way up back to the spot you had them at, if you can get them up there, as long as you're good and connected there. And then get your other clamp here and run it back down. Have it in place, and that's all it takes there, guys, on changing the fuel filter. So we'll go ahead and go step 3 and work on changing this spark plug. Step 3 is going to be changing our spark plugs. Once again, guys, very easy job here. I'm showing you here on the left-hand side where the fuel filter and oil filter is. This plug, just keep in mind this is a V-twin engine, so you're going to have another one over on the other side of the engine. So to start, we're just going to pull off our cap here. Once you get that out of your way, this is where we're going to take our ratchet and spark plug socket and go ahead and start taking it loose. Now, once you have that out here, you'll see a little bit of discoloration there at the top of that plug. And so now we will change and go to our new one. And you can see the difference, very clean, very shiny there. Now, one thing, guys, that we need to do before going back in here with our new plug is we need to check the gap on this plug. Now, how you do that is you're going to take your spark plug gap gauge here. Now, as you can see, we have these numbers that run all the way around the edge of the gauge. So where this is going to go is the edge of the gauge there is going to go into the spark plug in between the top electrode and the middle pin here. And we're going to go ahead and stick that in, and each plug per engine spec has a certain gap it needs to be at. So these are going to be for 0.030, which is our second set of numbers there. So we run that down until we feel resistance, which I'm feeling it right there at the 0.030. And then from there is where we're going to know that our gap is set correctly. So now we can go back in with our new plug. Now you're going to go ahead and run this down till it gets fairly tight here with the ratchet. Once you just feel that it's making contact with the side of the engine, as we are right there, I can feel that it's tight. We're just going to go another half turn, quarter to half turn, just to make sure we're snug. It's about a quarter turn right there. And then now all there is to do is to go ahead and put our cap back on. And that's all there is to it, guys. Just make sure you're doing this same process on the other side. And from here, we'll go step 4 and change out that air filter. Step 4 and final step in the service of this E160 is going to be changing that air filter. Very easy job. We're just going to loosen our 2 hand screws on top here. Once you get those loosened off, you'll be able to take off this cover. You'll see the air filter there. Just pop the old one out and then go back in with your new filter, and then just replace our housing and tighten back down these hand screws. And that's all there is, guys, to changing the air filter. So there you have it. You've just seen the simple step-by-step instructions on installing the John Deere home maintenance kit on a 2020 John Deere E160. Now also keep in mind, guys, if you're looking into this kit because maybe you have one of these mowers or you're looking into one of these mowers, that you can get this kit directly from me, just check the link in the description below, or also go to west-equip.com/parts. And if this video helped you out, guys, make sure to give it a like and give us a subscribe, as that helps us out as well. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.